Good evening, folks. This is Myron from the Tapped Out Wrestling Podcast. Tonight, I am joined once again by Kikyo, one of the most dominant women's wrestlers I've ever seen. How are you doing tonight, Kikyo?
I'm doing all right. Got off work a few hours ago, so now I'm just at home relaxing for once.
Nice. We saw you last weekend in Porterdale at one of the coolest shows I've ever seen. You had a hell of a match. That was a really good sight.
Yeah, I just got back from Platinum Championship Wrestling. That was actually a double shot for me. The day beforehand, I had actually had a triple threat at Atomic Wrestling Entertainment with Leva Bates and Amber Nova. And if anybody doesn't know anybody who doesn't know who Leva Bates is, if you ever seen Blue Pants from NXT, yes. That would be her. Amber Nova, she's the teeny tiny little girl from Impact Global Force Wrestling.
Cool.
I think Sienna destroyed her on an episode or two.
I have seen Leva Bates. She worked at the Roar Show here in Atlanta last time. She was doing a Constantine cosplay.
This time she ended up becoming Sarah Connor, so I made sure that I had my photo of John, asking her if she needed anybody, hey, yes, y'all seen this boy? Has anybody seen this boy?
Did you go full Punisher on her ass? Not Punisher, sorry, Terminator. God, I'm getting old. Yeah.
Terrible.
I'm forgetting my science fiction. Oh, my God.
I don't even like the Terminator, and I know it's Terminator.
Yes, but I watched that show probably, God knows, when I was a teenager, so I've forgotten it by now.
Come on, that old.
So you had a really busy weekend.
I did. I really did. It started out, because I live in Tampa, Florida now.
Uh-huh.
And it started out driving to Orlando, or actually it's Poco, which is, about half an hour or so outside of Orlando. Wrestled in that triple threat, and then my flight left at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So we went out to dinner, went straight to the airport, got through all my stuff, and then I was on a flight as, quick as possible. Got into Georgia, slept for like 2 hours, and then headed to the venue so that way I could get ready for my match against Nina Monet.
Mm-hmm. I had not seen Nina Monet before, but she...
Neither have I!
She put on a pretty good match for a while, but I mean, you absolutely just beat her ass. That was... it was a hell of a lot of match.
It was definitely hard fought. She hits... It's fun when I actually get females who aren't afraid to hit me.
Uh-huh.
They, most women seem like they're afraid to break a nail, and I end up beating the holy piss out of them because it's kind of what I do. New hashtag, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what I do. So,
yeah,
they get surprised when I tell them, like, look, I'm going to hit you, and I'm going to hit you hard, and you're going to know where I hit you, period. Yeah. I don't like nothing for nobody.
Yeah, my stepson was with us, and he's like, damn, you weren't kidding when you said she's going to knock the shit out of somebody. I'm like, yeah, that's what I told you.
Hashtag, it's kind of what I do.
But that was a cool venue. It was the old gymnasium that the roof had burned out of it, and they'd made like an outdoor event center. You've wrestled for Platinum before, though, haven't you?
I have. The last time I wrestled for PCW was actually last December, so it had been a good 9 months since I had been there. I could have had a baby, shoot. But yeah, December, I think it was December 2nd, and I took on Jessica Lee, and she was trained by the Funks. So,
oh, wow, yeah.
And I was still Lady Luck champion at the time.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, I look forward to developing a relationship with Platinum Championship Wrestling because everybody was so nice to us. I really had a good time.
Matt Higgins, the promoter for Platinum, is he made me cry today because he helped me out with something that I'm not going to disclose here.
Yeah. But
he's definitely treated me like family, and I greatly appreciate him for everything that
it's always good to find people you can work with that treat you like that. That is great. So you've been busy. You're getting bookings all over the place. Got some more shows coming up. You going to be able to work with Dementia anytime soon?
I don't know. Maybe she stops dodging me. I could.
So she hasn't booked you or hadn't tried to get into any more of those epic matches with you?
Nope. We locked horns at BTW about oh wow, almost 2 years ago now. We
Uh-huh.
saw each other at Rise 3.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we didn't. I ended up wrestling Jules Malone,
Mm-hmm.
and Kevin Harvey and I have dubbed it the Dive to Nowhere. So if
Yes.
you guys haven't seen Rise 3, go to Smart Mark Video, go on to pipeline.equid.com,
Mm-hmm.
get it because Jules and I got put in a really hard spot.
Okay.
The opening show or the opening match of the show, like we had a couple of matches to kick it off, but the opening match was Deonna Purrazzo versus Melissa Anderson, cheerleader Melissa.
Yeah, that's a pretty big match.
It was a very big match, and Melissa beat Deonna up and down that venue. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
she threw her into guardrails. She whooped Deonna Purrazzo's butt.
Mm-hmm.
And then somehow Deonna was able to overcome that. And I don't know how she did it, but she did. So Jules and I had to follow that.
Mm.
And of all people, cheerleader Melissa. Like, are you serious right now? I've known about cheerleader Melissa since I started wrestling in 2009 because she's from the same area I am.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So to have to follow her, crap.
Yeah, and Deanna's been on every promotion in the country, every big promotion in the country lately. So y'all followed some big time stars.
Exactly. So Jules and I went out there, and I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys for that match, but legit, that was probably the hardest hitting match on the card
Oh wow.
by far.
Oh wow. Now
There,
that
there's surprises, there's tears. Take a shot for every time you hear Marty DeRosa say, "I can't believe Kikyo is moving right now."
oh damn, damn! If she put you in that situation, yeah, I'll have to go get the liquor bottle then. That's one thing that's on my list. I have that, and I want to watch that before I start the Mae Young Classic. I haven't had a chance to start it, but
Oh, shame on you! For shame! How have you not watched the Mae Young Classic yet?
I've reached a point where there's so much wrestling to watch that I have to do to prepare for stuff that I haven't got to see that yet. We go to shows, two, 3 shows a week sometimes, and it's almost impossible. That's what I'm looking forward to because I'm a huge fan of women's wrestling, and women's wrestling has blown up so much.
Yeah, I'm immensely proud of Shayna Baszler. Like, I got to work with Shayna back in 2016 for All Pro Wrestling. It was in
Yeah.
a tag match. It was myself and Beatrice Domino versus Ruby Reyes and Shayna.
Uh-huh.
And she was still like very very new in the business at that time. So
Uh-huh.
to be able to work with her and see her go to where she's at now and see her grow, and then now being a part of Rise and being able to go to Shimmer and watch her wrestle at
Yeah.
Shimmer, because I mean we do 3 to 4 tapings a weekend.
Uh-huh.
So to see how much she's grown has been amazing, and to be able to call her a little more than an acquaintance now
Yeah.
is great. Like, I'm so immensely proud of her. I'm proud of Mercedes Martinez because
Yeah.
she has busted her ass for over 15 years to get to where she's at. She had a match on Sunday Night Heat against Victoria years ago.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys look that up, that's a little hidden gem for you there.
Yeah.
So to see her on an even bigger stage was just amazing. And then of course Nicole Savoy, you had all of Trifecta on there. In
Yeah.
the Mae Young Classic. And Nicole, I've watched her since I started too, because she was managing when I first started. So to see how far she's come, especially after her knee injury and whatnot,
Yeah.
oh my God. Like, not only is she mom because she's older than me, but she's had a lot more access to better trainers than I have. And anytime I'm ever in the ring with her, she makes me step up.
Well,
Legit.
the whole Rise and Shimmer crowd did phenomenal in that. They were well representative, and they did really well. You're associated with the people that are on the forefront of women's wrestling right now, and that's got to be exciting.
Oh, absolutely. Like, to have the wrestling moms that I do,
Uh-huh.
just from when I first came back in 2012, like, my wrestling moms now include Daphne,
Yeah.
Lufisto,
Yeah.
Saraya Knight,
Oh, wow.
Allison Danger. like, if you would have told me when I first started training that I could hit up Lufisto and be like, Mom, I need help. I'm wrestling this person and I don't know what to do. Or hit up Mercedes Martinez and be like, hey, Mama, I need your help. Like,
That's amazing.
it's ridiculous, Or Danger, hey, come to lunch with me while you're in
Hmm.
town. Like, are you freaking kidding me right
That's
now?
insane. That's insane. I mean, you have managed to make contacts with the biggest names of women wrestling, and there's not really any other sports where that can happen, where you can move up and talk and deal with the superstars so readily. That's awesome.
Well, I feel like in other sports, it really, like, say, maybe football or obviously MMA, you can learn from the people above you, but it's still like either way, wrestling still relies on your own talent,
Uh-huh.
but the way that you have to learn and be taught to learn from people that have been in a higher position from you,
Hmm.
it really helps, because it helps with your psychology. It helps with, putting things together in a match, or how to deal with somebody who's being a jerk, or, having to deal with somebody who's super green and doesn't listen, or something
Uh-huh.
like that, being able to talk to those people. When I first actually moved out to Tampa, I wrestled Jenna at ACW for the women's championship, and what we had, I didn't know what to do, so I hit up Soraya, Havoc, and I think Danger, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Wow,
Help.
that's
And
a pretty big group of names you listed right there.
right, and I'm not trying to be the jerk and name
Yeah,
drop or anything. That's legit what I did,
yeah.
and I'm like, help! I don't know what to do, and they're like, here, this is what I feel like you should do. Let me know how it goes. Send me the footage afterwards.
Wow. So you had the really good experience at Rise 3. How did the training, all the classes and seminars go?
Oh, it was great. We had like a 4-hour training seminar with Dr. Tom Pritchard.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
And
I'm a Pritchard Mark.
oh no, like,
Yeah.
I love Tom Pritchard. Absolutely love the man. He is such a huge advocate for women's wrestling. Such a huge
Mm-hmm.
advocate. And you don't really see that from a lot of male wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, actually last weekend I was talking to John Davis. And
Oh, yeah, he's a bad motherfucker. I'm sorry.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, John Davis is a scary dude. He's huge, he's intimidating. I thought he didn't like me just because the look on his face. um, I asked him like what he thought and his advice and whatnot, and he had told me that normally he doesn't like women's wrestling. He'll try and watch a match, and he'll end up turning his head and walking away because he gets bored or it's just terrible.
Uh-huh.
He stood there and watched mine and Nina's entire match.
Yeah, it was a very John Davis style match. I mean, it was very hard hitting, very dominant moves. If you'd have been hitting a smaller woman the way you hit her, it would have crumpled her like a bug. I mean, and John had that handicap match where he beat a tag team.
I did watch that match. I did watch that one.
Damn.
That match was ridiculous.
Yeah, and the Washington Bullets, I've seen them quite a few times, and they're a really good tag team. But the way he handled them, that was a lot to see. And if his seal of approval is something, because I mean that guy, ooh, he's stiff.
Yeah,
He looks stiff.
He's a big scary dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So to have that compliment of him saying, I stood there and watched your entire match, like, he didn't have to. He could have said, oh, well, it sucks, so I walk away. Sorry, but
Yeah.
he didn't.
Well, I don't think he'd edit himself. He doesn't. From what I've seen of him, I've seen him live a couple times. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy to edit himself.
No, not at all.
He wouldn't be bullshitting you if he didn't watch the match. He would have told you he didn't watch the
Yeah,
match.
not at all.
Well, that's
Not at all,
cool.
so.
That's cool. So you've got a lot of serious credibility behind you, and you've got a lot of the male wrestlers that approve of what you do. You've got great training. You get to see the best talent and work with them. And you've got more Rise work coming up.
I do. So November 7th will be our 1-year anniversary
Uh-huh.
of when Rise started. Technically, it's November 10th, but November would be our year
Yeah.
anniversary. And I have been a part of every single Rise show except for Rise 4, which was in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
They just got done with that a couple of weeks ago for the double shot with Bellatrix and
Uh-huh.
WAW,
Uh-huh.
which went great. And this seminar is, oh man, and I wish I could reveal who the Joshi legend is that is going to be there.
No, we don't want to get in trouble with Kevin.
Exactly, no, I can't. I've known about this for quite some time, and it's been really difficult to not tell people. So if people haven't figured it out by now, they're kind of dumb, because Kevin really kind of literally put it right there in your face. Not only do we get to learn from Medusa, aka Alundra Blaze, like we get to learn from a Joshi legend who is part, like a legit part of her career, of why she got big. Like there's one hint right there. The second hint is actually in the poster that Kevin Harvey released.
Okay.
So if you look at the Japanese flag poster that has Medusa on it, there is a shadow in the
Oh,
rising.
I didn't notice it. I didn't look at it. I just saw Medusa, and oh God, you know, you look at Medusa
Look at
and
the shadow.
Yeah.
For all you girls and guys out there, look at the shadow behind Medusa. And that will tell you everything.
Okay.
She was a very, very large part of Medusa's career. And I get to learn from her.
I know who you're talking about now, and yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be absolutely insane. So not only do we get to learn from a Joshi legend and Medusa for Rise 5 Brutality, December 1st, dropping an F-bomb, pre-warning, Bull fucking Nakano.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand how often I've been compared to Bull, especially when I had my blue hair, because now it's brown. To be able to learn from two Joshi legends within just a couple weeks of each other, like, are you fucking kidding me? And then not only that, like, Cheerleader Melissa's gonna be there. Medusa's also gonna be there for Rise 6 in Los Angeles. If you girls have not gotten onto this yet, you're fucking dumb.
Yeah. How could you be a women's wrestler and not be trying to get into this?
And when he comes up to me and says, "Who are these people?" I'm going to slap you right in the face. Because if you are any type of women's wrestler, you should absolutely know who these three people are.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. You should be studying their tape. I can't even tell you how many Bull Nakano matches I've seen. Like, especially after being compared to her.
Yeah.
Watching her tag and go against Reggie Bennett in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Watching her tag and go against Aja Kong. Watching her go against and tag with Jump Matsumoto. Like, come the F on, bro.
Yeah.
This is Bull Nakano.
Oh, quite a huge name from back in the day. She was even over here. You know, at the time where Vince McMahon did not want to book a Japanese female wrestler, she still managed to make her name over here. Just a legendary hard ass, and it's amazing that Rise and is able to put this much talent together in one place.
Oh, Kevin is still like crapping himself. Oh, and he posts about it all the time. He's like, I can't believe this is happening. This is a pipe dream that is literally coming true right now.
Yeah, I've caught him like when he's doing one of his Facebook lives or something like that, and you can tell the passion he feels about what he's doing. He is just solid. One of my dreams is to be able to take one of his like announcer classes, like his promo classes.
Yeah, keep an eye out, because those are actually extremely informative. Yeah. Extremely informative, because he used to be an announcer. It still is an announcer, you know, and he's been around a lot of people in this business that, you know what they're doing and knowing what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, but to continue on with Rise, just recently found out actually what the match I'm going to be in for Rise 5 Brutality is going to be. It is called the Incursion of the Phoenix. Shotzi Blackheart, the Phoenix, the Rise the Phoenix champion, or Phoenix the Rise champion, she has to take on, and we don't know the exact rules, we just know the name. It's the Incursion of the Phoenix. It's Shotzi Blackheart versus me, Kikyo, versus Chelsea Green, versus Britt Baker, versus Dust, versus Delilah Doom. all 6 of the original roster members from Rise 1 and 2 all in the same match.
That doesn't really bear well for the champion in that.
Not at all. The odds of her losing that title are very high.
Yeah.
Very, very high.
Yeah.
But again, we don't know the rules of this yet. All we know is that the 5 of us got an invitation and the 5 of us accepted.
Yeah, that's a lot of talent right there. It's that's going to be a hell of a match. Even, I mean, it could be a scramble. It could be a 5-way. It could be, an elimination.
6, including the champion.
Oh, God, 6. Oh, yeah, there's so many different ways that could happen.
Yeah, you got Fire and Nice.
Yeah.
You got Delilah Doom. You got me. You got Dust, and you got Shotzi.
Yeah.
So not only you already have a tag team in there for one, with Britt Baker and Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
You've got the former champion, Angel Dust.
Mm-hmm.
You've got me, who is bigger than all of those girls in general. You got Delilah Doom, who's this teeny little aerobics thing. And then you got Shotzi.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she's the ballsy badass, but
I've seen you and her just bleed all over the place.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah. But Delilah, last time we saw Delilah Doom on TV, she was getting squashed by Nia Jax, wasn't she?
Yep, as far as I remember, yeah.
Yeah,
she actually, so, it just, I look at this match, and promos will be coming out soon enough once we find out what exactly the rules are. But I look at it this way. You've got Shotzi, who is the champion.
Yeah.
Getting flown and taken everywhere possible. You've got Dust. She's been able to learn from Rosemary. She was the first Phoenix of Rise champion.
Yeah.
She's been wrestling for over 10 years. She's been places. She's done things. All right, cool. That's fine. You got Delilah Doom. Again, just like Shotzi, being taken everywhere and possible.
Uh-huh.
Like, she just got done with, 6 different states, back and forth. And
Wow.
she got a last-minute call to the UK for Rise 4.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You've got Fire and Nice, Chelsea Green and Britt Baker. You've got Britt Baker being on Women of Honor. She's with Adam Cole. She has access to all of these people.
Oh, yeah.
Chelsea Green, she's on Impact. She's got access to people all around. She's with Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
These people have so much access to all of this knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been pushed and shown even on the Rise roster. And who's sitting on the back burner? Me.
Just cooking it
They
up.
all have they have everything to lose. I have nothing to lose. I have everything to gain from this. And I'm tired of being in the background.
Well,
every one of those girls has had their time to rise, which is the slogan that we had for Rise 1. It's my turn now, and I'm not going to stop at anything.
That's kind of scary when you consider you going in there with nothing to lose. You could absolutely take everybody in that match out.
Absolutely, and that's my plan.
Ooh. Unrestrained brutality. That's gonna be a hell of a weapon right there.
Rise 5 is called brutality for a reason.
Yep, and it's hard to have a 6 people in a match and have a disqualifications or anything like that. So you'll probably have quite a few tools at your disposal and all that.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what the rules are or how this is going to be set up or anything about it aside from the name, the Incursion of the Phoenix.
That's a hell of a name for a match. Incursion of the Phoenix. I'm going to write that down so I don't mess that up in the notes because that's really good.
Yeah, I think Rise tweeted out the definition of incursion not too long ago.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good one. You brought up Rosemary. You've met Rosemary. You know Rosemary.
Yeah,
what did you think about the Sexy Star thing?
Oh man, I was livid because I got to meet Rosemary at Rise 2.
Yeah.
And then I got to see her again at Rise 3 and watch her throughout Shimmer that whole weekend.
Yeah.
And she is one of the sweetest people. And she would never hurt a freaking fly.
Uh-huh.
So to see Sexy Star, And and you know what sucks even more is I met Sexy Star that same weekend at Rise 3 because she made her Shimmer debut.
Yeah.
Or was it Rise 1? It was either Rise 1 or Rise 3, one of the two, because I know Rise 1 had Mickie James. I think it was Rise 1 because it had Mickie James and Sexy Star that weekend. And it sucked because she was very sweet to me. She was very nice.
Yeah.
And to see her try and go for blood basically against Rosemary, that's not okay. She tried to backpedal and tried to say, oh, well, she was defending herself and everybody was out to get her. No, bitch. You put on an armbar, she tapped out, you let go, and then you put it back on. That is not defending yourself. Period.
No. You've already got your opponent at a weakness.
She could have broken Rosemary's arm. She's lucky all she did was sprain it. And if the people that are continuing to book her or saying, oh, Rosemary deserved it, or saying, that Sexy Star was just in character, no, that's bull. That's absolute bull. Because every female worker and male worker knows when they go to Mexico, they have to be on guard in the first place. There are so many horror stories that come from Mexico. It's insane. Hell, when I went to Mexico, I've got my own horror story that I don't need to share, but it's something that you have to be aware of when you go there. And it sucks that we even have to do that because in this business, yeah, we get hurt and there's accidents, but that's the thing. They're accidents. You're not supposed to go out there on purpose to hurt somebody. Wrestling is a very dangerous, as much as people want to say it's fake or it's scripted or it's this and that, it's a very, very, very dangerous sport. One wrong move and you can break somebody's neck. You can break some other bone in their body. Hell, even I was at training and a slip up happened and I almost landed a girl on her neck, but because I have been wrestling for as long as I have and I'm known to protect my opponents in that kind of situation, she was completely okay, and thank God she was. We both sat there and were freaked out. We're like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah. I didn't see. That's the thing about the Mexico. I know the referee didn't seem like he was in any hurry to break things up or anything like that. I don't know how the refereeing goes on at those events.
And that's also another thing because, if you don't know Spanish, it's really, really difficult to determine whether your referee is a rudo, heel ref, or technical ref, your face ref, because they have different referees. They have the rudos.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't know if they're, good or bad, or if they're on one side or the other, or what their alliance is.
See, I have not really watched that much Mexican wrestling, so I didn't know that there was variation in the referees. Wow.
Yep. Thank you, California Wrestling, for training me in lucha.
Well, there's so much lucha going on, and who is still booking Sexy Star these days? Is she still in Mexico, or?
I have no idea. I don't follow her. I'll see her name pop up every now and then when people start talking about the Rosemary situation. But I choose not to follow her anymore whatsoever.
But her apologies were in Spanish that I saw.
Her apologies, crap.
Well, I didn't understand them because, I don't speak Spanish, so I couldn't hear the apology. And it didn't seem like anybody was making any effort to translate it so people could understand what happened.
Well, it got translated, but it was through Google Translate, which you can still get the gist of what's being said. And from the Google Translates and all of the articles that came out from it underneath it didn't seem sincere whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. What's what everybody said is she was just, she felt like our Vampiro drug her back there and made her apologize, and she just kind of blew it off.
Yeah, she said that, she wasn't with the medical staff, she wasn't this, that, it was just a big fiasco. I'm just glad that Rosemary is okay.
Yeah, yes, because she is quite
I'll get to see her on the 7th of October.
Oh, cool. Where are you going to see her at?
I am coming back to Atomic Wrestling Entertainment,
Uh-huh.
and this was just announced last week. I am taking on, in the main event, Jesse Neal, who is the hardcore champion, and we are going at it for the title.
Oh, you're going for the hardcore championship title?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Oh. Um that's much like the one of those matches where there's no rules and you're liable to get hit with weapons and stuff and
Let's put it this way. At the last show I was at, it was Vertigo, Jesse Neal, and Abyss for the hardcore championship.
and she beat Abyss? Abyss
Jesse Neal he beat Abyss.
Wow. Oh, so you're wrestling a man for the hardcore champion.
You don't remember Jesse Neal from TNA, trained by the Dudleys?
Oh, okay. Yes. Sorry. That's my slip
Yeah,
up.
Inc. Tag teams with Shannon Moore. Yeah,
Damn.
that Jesse.
So you're wrestling a hardcore championship against someone who's been on a major promotion,
Yes, sir.
who was trained by the Dudleys,
Yes, sir.
who are pretty much in right there when hardcore was invented.
Yep.
That's a lot. Have they ever had a woman hold the hardcore title before?
Not that I know of. I don't even think that they've had an intergender match until I got there. I'm pretty sure that I would have to check with Alex Red, but I'm pretty damn sure that the only intergender match that they had was when I made my dark match debut in a tag match because I was the only female in that match.
Uh-huh.
And then this past show I wrestled in a females match.
Uh-huh.
And now, yeah. And
Wow.
I think this is their first full-on intergender match. Not only intergender, but also intergender hardcore.
Yeah. Well, I've seen you go hardcore with Shotzi. That match was ungodly violent.
You thought that was violent, honey. You haven't seen my death matches.
Death matches?
That was just a no DQ.
What the hell do you do a death match at?
Me and Sage Sin have torn each other apart.
Oh.
Yeah, the Pumpkin Queen, Sage Sin. If you go on YouTube, you can search them all up. Our very first one was the Pumpkin Patch Death Match at UEW. We also had a intergender tag team best of 5 barbed wire board match. It was myself and Michael Kruger versus her and JD Horror. That was actually, aside from my Fans Bring the Weapons match with Wade Hess, that was my bloodiest match ever.
I've seen a Fans Bring the Weapons match at AWE, and it was just shocking. They bring Legos and all
the fans get insane. In my Fans Bring the Weapons match with Wade Hess from Portland, Oregon, he and I beat the crap out of each other. I'm 5'2", 210. He's 6'2", 260. That's a big dude.
Yeah,
and there was a TV satellite. There was a pool noodle. Somebody brought a beer bottle, which got smashed over my head. There was a cheese grater. There was a plunger, thumbtacks. There was a bunch of stuff.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that's also online. You can also find myself and Sage in the My Bloody Valentine match from the same promotion, NWWA Portland. Then I've got my first blood match with Lisa Lace from Gold Rush Pro Wrestling. The no DQ match with Shotzi. Yeah, no, I bleed.
So you're ready for this match then. You've got the resume for it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And I think Jesse Neal is underestimating me. I really do. Because I'm a female. Because he's only seen certain things of me. I really do think that not only him, but a lot of people are underestimating what I can do.
Well, I have a feeling that will end on October 7th. Yeah. You took the Hood Witch apart. I can only imagine what you're going to do in a match where there's basically no rules and everything goes. Women's hardcore wrestling. That is a big change from the pudding and the bra and panties and the evening gown matches the WE used to put on. It's a great thing. Now I look at TNA and or whatever they're called today, Impact Wrestling. I'm not putting them down, but they tend to over-sexualize their female wrestlers. They don't, to me, they book them less as competitors and more as knockouts.
I feel like now they're a lot better about it. There was a point in time that they did start going the diva route.
Yeah.
But when they first started it, when it was TNA,
yeah,
a lot of us women looked at it and like, no, I want to be a knockout. I want to be a diva. They actually get to wrestle. When you got to see people like Daphne and ODB and Taylor Wilde, and they just went at it and they wrestled. It was amazing. Like, I knew about Daphne from WCW, but getting to watch her in TNA, that's where I fell in love with her. Absolutely fell in love with her. And now to be able to be like, hey, Mama Daph, sup? Like, it's great. And, like, they kind of went a little sideways for a minute, but they're starting to get back on track now that they have Sienna and Chelsea Green, even though she's this hot drunken mess.
Yeah, she does a good job in that character.
Oh, I love it. Every time I see her, I'm like, Chelsea, give me the face, and she's just like,
I'm becoming a huge Sienna fan. She is a badass.
Yeah, if anybody hasn't seen Sienna before TNA, look up Allison Kay and make sure your pinkies are up the entire time.
Yes.
Like, go look at your Shimmer DVDs. Go look up YouTube. Look up Allison Kay, ALLYSIN. By the way.
Yeah, and it's so easy to find women's wrestling these days. Good women's wrestling. You got YouTube. You got your Fight app. You've got Shimmer, Shine, Flow Slam. It's amazing.
I just recently made not only did I make my Shimmer debut at Rise 3, that that was Shimmer 94 against Havoc. So that'll be out in like 2 years. We're at 80 now. We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. And then actually a week later, I made my Shine debut at Shine 43, I believe it was, or Shine 45. I think it was Shine 45. And that was against Leah Knox. And that was like my not official Flow Slam debut, but I like to think it was because it did get put on there, even though it was the Shine Sparkle Showcase.
Yeah.
But now I've made my WWN debut along with ACW as well, because I got to wrestle Jenna. My debut was a freaking title match, for Christ's sake. Whether it happened in less than 5 minutes or not, it still happened.
Yeah, oh yeah. So, yeah, it's better than my Evolve debut at Evolve 99 when Keith Lee fell on me in the front row.
Yeah, then we have Shine coming up again October 20th, and I'm pretty I mean, I know I'm going to be there for sure.
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome. Okay, so you basically know some of the most famous women in wrestling. You are able to work with some of the most famous women in wrestling on some of the biggest promotions, the biggest stages in women's wrestling. What do you see next?
Well, I see me trying to take that damn hardcore championship away from Jesse Neal, that's for sure.
Yeah. How long's it been since you had a belt?
I lost my belt to Shotzi in June. And it still hurts, man. I had that championship for 316 days.
That's almost a full year.
Sorry, I lost it in May.
So you got a chance. You're about October. You're going to get a chance at this title. You're going to be coming back. You've got November. You've got Rise. You got to go back to Los Angeles for another work. When are you coming back to Georgia?
I don't know yet.
Cool.
I don't have the Georgia booking set up yet. I do have I'm making my Real Pro debut on Saturday, this coming Saturday, against Roxy Rouge, who I wrestled actually in Georgia for NWA Southeastern in Pavo. And I think that's for the Real Pro Women's Championship, so fingers crossed.
Stack up in belts.
Right. This Sunday, I returned to Zello Pro in Illinois. Last time I was there, I took on Laney Luck, and I won. No, wait. Did I win? I think I won.
Now, where is that in Illinois?
That is in Rosemont.
Rosemont, okay.
So I took on Laney Luck, and that was a lot of fun. And this time, it's actually a 5-way elimination match. It's going to be myself versus Lainey Luck versus Delilah Doom
Mm-hmm.
versus Kylie Ray versus Nicole Savoy. And I am
Wow.
so excited to wrestle Nicole again because we haven't worked since before she got hurt.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And it oh my gosh, I think the last time we worked was at Premiere,
Mm-hmm.
like 2 years ago. Oh my, like it's been a long time since she and I have
Yeah.
been across from each other. So I'm super, super excited about that. Next weekend, I actually go back again on the 30th to Illinois.
Uh-huh.
This time it's going to be for the Signature Move movie premiere. And it's a movie about an Indian women's wrestler, like
Uh-huh.
from India,
Uh-huh.
women's wrestler.
Yeah.
And she's also a lesbian. And her family, one, obviously doesn't approve of her sexuality, and two, doesn't approve of her pro wrestling. So that'll be a really interesting thing. And the card is full of Rise and Shimmer roster.
Uh-huh.
You've got Havoc, Chelsea Green, Mercedes Martinez is going to be there. I'm taking on Kiera Hogan.
Oh, Kiera, she wrestles a lot down here, and she's also
Yeah.
signed with TNA. Yeah, she's a hot property right now.
Yep. So I'm going to be taking on her, and it's going to be pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. Now this film, is it coming out in theaters, or is it going to be something's released on home video?
I'm not quite sure yet. If you follow Signature Move on Facebook and also Gnarly Production, I think it's Gnarly Pop Productions.
Mm-hmm.
You can find out everything about the show and about the movie premiere and everything else like that. I'm sure it'll come onto Netflix or DVD or something of that sort.
Well, it sounds like an interesting film right now because those are topic cultural and sexuality and different things like that are big hot topics right now. So it should be a pretty good movie to see then.
Yeah, I'm definitely really excited about that whole thing.
Yeah.
And Illinois is starting to become a new home for me.
Well, Illinois' got a lot of hot properties going on up there. I keep seeing wrestlers living up in that area and going up to that area. A lot of guys down here in Georgia are going up there a lot.
It's a hotbed for wrestling, women's wrestling, male wrestling. Like it's a hotbed right now.
Yeah, yep. I saw somebody a while back that thought very highly of you. I saw Papa Hales at a wrestling event, and I was talking to you, and I brought your name up, and he's like, "Damn, she's a hard ass, and she's a great wrestler. She's going places." And I'm like, "Yeah."
I'm trying.
That man knows everything about independent wrestling, especially he's going to be putting on a women's wrestling tournament coming up in May, like a big show.
I better be on it. Because 321 Battle's putting on a women's tournament next month, and I'm not on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of upsets me because I really do feel, especially on the West Coast,
mm-hmm.
if you're having a women's tournament and I'm not on it,
yeah,
something's wrong.
Yeah,
like I don't like to be the one to be all honk honk, toot my own horn, but when it comes to women's wrestling, I feel like I'm up there along with those staples especially on the West Coast.
Yeah,
like,
you were very established on the West Coast.
My ass for 5+ years now, and I've been around for almost 10. So
definitely, you should be on everyone's list to bring in for a tournament like that. It's cool that you're getting to travel a lot like that. That's a lot of different areas and a lot of different states you're going to be covering.
So far I've made it to, I believe, 8 states and 2 countries. I've wrestled in California, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, Illinois, Florida, and Georgia. And I think I'm adding Texas next year. I've wrestled in Mexico. I'll be adding, I think I was going to add Alabama, but that ended up washing out just because of date situation.
Yeah.
But Alabama will be coming soon. It's really crazy. Like I've traveled, but I've never really been flown out very often up until this past year.
Yeah, that's when you're making it big time when you get your trans.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I'll take Greyhounds, I'll take Amtrak, I'll drive it from Sacramento to Vegas. It's like a 12-hour Greyhound. Like, and I've done it because obviously I know how long it takes. Because you got to take that Amtrak from Sacramento down to LA, which in order to do that, you have to take the Greyhound from Sacramento to Bakersfield, get on a bus, go over the Grapevine, get to LA, and then from there take the bus out to Vegas.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
I can imagine that's not
it
fun.
Sucks.
Oh yeah. One of our
I
friends.
haven't been called a road warrior for nothing.
One of our friends, Trevor Eon, he takes the bus all up and down the Eastern Seaboard, hitting shows as far as New York, and he does what he has to do to get himself out there. And that's y'all are in the position now where you can make great money doing this, but you've got to be all over the place. Where can people go to find you to book you?
They can email me at bookfallenflower@gmail.com.
Uh-huh.
You can find me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, literally absolutely everything. If you type in Fallen Kikyo, like right there, Kikyo, Kikyo, you'll be able to find me no matter what.
Okay.
You might come up with the anime from Inuyasha, but if you put Fallen Flower Kikyo and literally everything, I will pop up. I'm the only Kikyo in wrestling that I know of that is at least in the United States.
Yeah.
You know, but hell, I don't even think that there's a Kikyo in Japan at the moment. So
I do not know. Are you ever gonna think about going to Japan to wrestle?
Oh, I've been asked if I've been on multiple occasions, and every time I've been like, no, but I really, really want to. I mean, I have my passport.
That's what they tell you.
And December, you know, with Rise for November and December, it's a very high possibility of people from Stardom seeing me just based on the seminar trainers. That's awesome. So these next two seminars are going to be really, really, really important.
Oh, it sounds like it. Definitely. Yeah.
So you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, all at Fallen Kikyo. You can find my like page at Fallen Flower Kikyo. You can go to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy my t-shirts at ProWrestlingTees.com / guess what? Fallen Kikyo. And if you go to Collar and Elbow brand, which I am now currently sponsored by, if you use my code, stay with me, Fallen Kikyo, you can get 10% off of your order, as well as I also get a portion of those proceeds, because a lot of the sponsors, you use the 10% off code and you get fuck all for it. But Collar and Elbow, who it's run by Al Snow, he actually does help his sponsored people. Yeah. Giving them a portion of the proceeds.
Yeah, Nick met Al Snow in Colorado at that the Rocky Mountain show. And Nick's the guy that runs our podcast. And the guy explained it all to Nick, and it's a good business model. It's a good business. A lot of people are saying it's a pyramid scheme, but hearing it from Al and Al explaining it, it's a good solid business model.
Yeah, I'm not going to name names of other, sponsors or anything, but like a lot of them, they just want to push their product, and they'll push, some names. But Collar and Elbow has really seemed to care about everybody that they've sponsored. Just even if they're not completely pushing absolutely everyone on their Instagram or something like that, you're still getting money from whatever shirts that you're selling. Yeah. And most sponsors don't do that.
Yeah. And they're supposed to be good quality clothes too, right?
Oh yeah, no, they're soft as hell. They're great.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get myself some. Then I'll have to use your code unless we become. Well, we couldn't be sponsored athletes because we're not really athletes. We're a couple fat guys that sit at shows, but we drive around a lot going to shows.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. It's always good to hear from inside the women's wrestling world, and you've been such a great asset to the show. We put all our podcasts on YouTube just because, we have people that listen to us there, but we don't really do a lot of downloads. Your episode that we put on YouTube is by far more than anyone else's. Even the Tennessee Stud or Bob Bullet Armstrong. You did.
I feel like people just listen to me to see if I talk shit on anything. Because everybody knows they think that I have this big mouth or something like that. And then I sit there and I put all these people over and they're like, wait, I thought she was going to talk shit. Oh, wait, no, not really.
No, you really are very nice about most of these people. You don't talk a lot of shit about them, but I have a feeling you could. But usually you just beat the shit out of them. So
exactly, I'm not going to talk shit about you. I'm just going to beat the shit out of you. And even then, I'm still going to be nice to you.
Yes. Friendly.
Hell, somebody slapped me in the face in the locker room, and I still worked early there that night.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm the asshole, right?
Yeah, it's a different business. Sometimes, somebody said, "Oh, you can come backstage," and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go back there. That's for the wrestlers, and we're not wrestlers.
It's a catch-22 when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. You've got your promos all cut. You're solid. You're coming up on some big shows. We look forward to seeing you. We look forward to supporting you. And come back anytime, and we can talk about what you're doing next, okay?
Absolutely. I'll probably do something after all of this Rise stuff. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, now tell us where we can see those Rise videos again.
You can go to pipeline.equid.com, and you can get Rise 1 through, I think, 4 now. And I think you can also buy them off of SmartMark as well. Mm-hmm. You can get the downloads from there. But, Rise 3 is the one that you really want to see if you want to see me die.
Well, thank you so much for coming on again. You have a great night, and we look forward to talking to you again later. Thanks.
So,
you like that? You want more like it? Why don't you go to www.tappedOutWrestlingPodcast.com. That's where you'll find our browser links for all of our personal Twitters, Facebooks, all that. You'll find the link to Amazon, where you can purchase stuff there. Through our link, we get a kickback. The Fight app, you can buy all your indie wrestling all the way up to Ring of Honor right there. They give us a kickback. Go to Blue Apron, buy some food. Guess what? Kickback there too. There's a player down the center. Lets you listen to all the music. You can find the links to iTunes, Google Play, all those other places to listen to it, or just listen to it right there on your desktop. Subscribe. Big thing to do, guys. You got to subscribe. You get everything brand new. You like us on social media, Tapped Out Wrestling Podcast on Facebook. On Twitter, we're at Tapped Out Pod. And also, I'm at Myron the Mark TOP on Twitter. Now, we are slowly starting to tease episodes on our various social media pages prior to them being released. So listen out there, folks. Get some great episodes. Let us know. Give us some feedback. TappedOutWrestlingPodcast@gmail.com. That's where you want to talk to us. www.tappedOutWrestlingPodcast.com. The greatest website in wrestling.